We're gonna start on our backs, and once you get settled there, I like to leave my knees pointed up, and my feet are a little bit wider than hip distance apart. And then I let my knees fall into each other just to kind of give them some support, so I'm not, holding them up. And then try to open up through the collarbone, widen out through the back of your shoulder blades, relaxing your neck and your jaw. You can place your hands on your belly or your chest or open to the side, whatever feels comfortable to you. If you feel comfortable, go ahead and close your eyes. Start taking some deep cleansing breaths. And on your next inhale, exhale, go ahead and start counting your breaths, starting at 10 down to 1. And as we do that, we're just centering ourselves and drawing within, kind of disconnecting from the day's activities and preparing our body and our mind for our practice. You're moving down to your count of 1. See if you can soften your facial muscles a little bit more. Allowing your muscles to relax, your body to be supported by the ground. See if you can just energetically let go and trust. And with your next inhalation, go ahead and open your eyes, the gentle gaze, open those knees. We're going to extend out one leg at a time. And then just turn your head side to side. So we're going to bring our chin down towards our mat, just kind of feeling that massage on the back of our head as we roll side to side. And then coming back to a nice neutral position as you face up. Let's extend our arms up one at a time. Now, as you do that, see if you can allow an opening through your abdominal region, kind of expanding through the rib cage. You can wiggle around a little bit, opening the fingers and opening the toes. And then give a little squeeze. So kind of like squeeze your muscles, contract all those muscles into the bones, arms and legs. And then release. Nice deep breath in as you exhale, squeezing those muscles once again. And then inhale, release. Okay, so go and bring your right knee into your chest. You're going to bring the hand right behind the leg and rotate that ankle around a few times in each direction. As you do that, ground out your opposite leg. So push that thigh into the ground And then let's pull that knee open a little bit to the outside. So you're bringing it up towards your shoulder, your underarm. And then we'll take the knee, cross it over the straight leg, going into a gentle spinal twist. So as you do that, your back shoulder may stay connected on your mat so the leg stays lifted. You can put a block underneath that leg or a blanket or a pillow. If that feels comfortable to you, you can leave it hanging up in the air, or it might end up touching the ground too. So just accepting where your body's at. On your next inhalation, let's come back in. Bring both knees to your chest. If you want to, you can curl up that upper body, kind of drawing the nose toward your knee, rock side to side. And then we'll release the opposite leg, bringing that knee into the chest as you reach behind the thigh. Ground out that straight leg. So really push that thigh down towards the ground as you draw the knee a little bit open to the outside. So it's kind of coming up towards the shoulder. It's a nice hip flexor psoas stretch, and your psoas muscles really deep. It connects on the lower portion of the thoracic spine and your lumbar spine, and then on the part of the femur. So it connects sort of the upper body to the lower body, and it's considered our stress muscle. It's an area where we might have some tightness, kind of our fight or flight area. So it's a good thing to focus in on that area. Tend to be really tight when we sit a lot. Rolling that ankle around a few times in each direction, getting ready for our spinal twist. When you're ready, inhale, coming over to the side, allowing that gentle twist. The opposite arm can pull out into a T position. Again, you're really in charge. You can keep that shoulder connected and let the knee kind of hang or settle down on your block or a pillow. Some of us may have enough flexibility where we can touch the knee on one side and the shoulder on the other. And you can kind of play around with that. If you lift up your shoulder, do you find like kind of a sweet spot that feels really good for you to hang out in? Just breathe into that, deep into the belly. As you inhale, engage your abs, sort of support that spine as you're coming back in. Let's bring both knees back into the chest, curling up if you want. And then suddenly your right foot down on your mat, cross your left ankle right at the thigh. We'll reach behind that thigh and just do that reclined pigeon or reclined figure four. Sometimes if you flex both of your feet, you'll feel it in a sort of a unique way. So you can try doing that, or let your feet be relaxed. It's a gentle glute stretch. If you want a deeper variation of this, you can grab hold of your shin right here. However, if that bugs your knee at all, you can stay right behind your thigh. Okay, keeping that same position, so you're gonna keep that ankle crossed. You're just gonna allow that bottom foot to step down on your mat. Open those arms to a T position. And if our left ankle is up and crossed, we're gonna draw both of our legs over to our left side. So go ahead and leave that ankle where it's at. You're just going to allow those legs to fall to the side. So now that foot ends up being on the outside of the thigh. You might feel a nice stretch through the lower back on that side, maybe through your hip. Again, hitting that psoas. The psoas, if you want to kind of have a sense of where it's at, right at that top ridge of your hip bone, that crest. You just kind of walk in with your fingertips, an inch or two. It's real deep down inside in that area. That's that psoas, or sometimes the iliopsoas, because they combine the iliacus and the psoas together, kind of joined together. Right, when you're ready, engaging those abs to support your spine as you inhale, come up and bring that leg down. We'll switch sides across the other ankle to the thigh. Reach behind that thigh and come on in. Remember to flex both of your feet just to change that a bit. And then some people are up here, but if you want to leave your head relaxed back, that's fine too. And that option to reach on the front part of the shin might make it a little bit different and more intense. If that doesn't feel good on your knee, I recommend keeping your hand behind your thigh. So nice glute stretch. You might find one side a little tighter than the other. And when you're ready, you're going to release that foot down. And since now our right leg is up top and crossed, we're going to open those arms to a T position and allow both the legs to fall to our right side, which means your right foot's going to end up on the outside of that thigh. Just allow that relaxation, that opening through the lower back, through the waist, into the hip flexor. Kind of noticing where you're feeling that your body should talk to you, not yell at you, so it should be feeling comfortable but noticeable. On your next inhalation, engage those abdominals. You can support your spine as you rotate those legs. Let's bring the soles of the feet together into a butterfly position so the knees are nice and wide. You can grab hold of your shins or your ankles and pull those feet in close to your body as the knees go wide. Let's go ahead and rock this one side to side. Take your first two fingers between your big toe and your second toe. Let's open up to happy baby. So just point those heels up to the ceiling. The knees are nice and wide. And you can rock your baby too. If you can't reach your feet or if that's a little uncomfortable, you can always go right behind your thighs like this. Okay, let's bring those knees back in. Release your legs one at a time. And hands settle down right by your side with your palms down. Let's inhale, lift those hips up as you walk those heels. Make sure they're right under your knees. Legs are about hip distance apart. Once you're up here, try to relax your jaw and your neck. Sometimes they have a tendency to tense that up as we move to our bridge. So we're going to broaden out through our collarbone and our chest. Nice deep breaths, any energy through those heels. Belly button is hugged into the spine. Have some energy through the glutes and the back of the legs. Feeling that connection behind the shoulder blades and the back of the upper arms, fingertips. Now we're going to peel down. So starting at the upper body, right behind those shoulder blades, see if you can connect down and then roll down one vertebra at a time. All the way down, mid-back, lower back, sacrum, and then connecting right there at the tailbone. Now walk your feet out really wide. So I like to bring them out to the edges of my yoga mat. Arms open to the sides, and we'll do that windshield wiper. Incorporating your breath. So inhale, come up. Exhale, over. Might find a spot that you want to pause at that feels really good. Go ahead and finish the one you're working on. No rush at all. Let's extend out those legs once again and arms up. We're going to roll over onto our abs. And once you get there, let's come up into Sphinx pose. I like Sphinx pose. It's a nice gentle extension. You have your elbows right below those shoulders. See if you can press into the forearms so you don't have any sagging in that shoulder. And I kind of think like if I had a pendant hanging on my neck, I'm kind of opening up and letting that kind of shine out. So just kind of open up through the chest area. You're looking straight along the horizon, expanding through the belly. And to protect the lower back, if you lengthen out your legs and kind of squeeze your glutes, push your pubic bone down as the belly button pulls up. Feel that nice engagement and release in your low back. Exhale, as we lower down, take your left arm and you're going to settle it down so that it's across your mat, and you can kind of put your head down as you're facing to your right. Bring that right foot in towards your bottom. You're going to reach back towards that foot. Now, I'm having trouble reaching mine, so a lot of us might not be able to reach. In that case, you could do a strap or a towel to extend your reach, or you could just reach in that general direction. As you do that, you're going to push that hip down towards your mat. And that nice stretch through the quadricep, that front thigh muscle. And then we'll release. And we'll switch, so bring the other arm down. You're going to look in the opposite direction, and this time our left foot's going to come up as you reach back, pushing that hip down towards the mat. Feeling that stretch through the hip flexor and the quadricep, that front thigh muscle. And let's release, bringing those hands right underneath the shoulders. Go ahead and hug the elbows into the side. Inhale, coming up into a baby cobra as we open up with our extension in our back, shoulders away from the ears. Draw back down. We'll do that 3 more times. Inhale, press up. Each time you come up, if you want to go up a little bit further in your cobra, exhale, coming down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, up. And exhale, coming down. Okay, so let's bring both of our feet in now. If you want to reach back with both hands, see if you can grab hold of those feet. If you can't, you can definitely use a strap, or you can just kind of hold back like this with the feet back and reaching back. You don't actually get to touch. If you want to try a bow, you're going to inhale and you lift up just like the cobra, except you're going to lift up your thighs and your upper body as you push those feet into your hands. And then release whenever you're ready. And then bringing those hands right below the shoulders, let's go ahead and press up into a modified plank, really engaging those abs. So pull that belly button in like you're doing a push-up, great. And then let's draw our hips back to our heels so we can do a nice counter pose to that bow. So we're going to do the child's pose. Inhale, coming up to all fours position. Go ahead and take some time to reset and find better alignment. And when you're ready, you can do your cat-cows for 3 inhale, exhale breaths. Inhale as you prepare. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, lengthen the spine, looking along the horizon. Shoulders draw back. Chest is open. Keep flowing through 2 more times. And then when you're finished with your last one, go ahead and curl those toes. Press through the fingertips and lift up just a couple inches off your mat. This is what I call kind of a crouching plank. If you're not feeling up to this today, you can just stay in your all fours position. Adding a little bit of intensity and heat here. Shoulders kind of hollow out your chest. You have some space in that shoulder joint. Belly button's engaged. Your gaze is straight down between those fingertips. Neutral neck. Keep breathing. And then let's release those knees. Walk your hands forward about 6 or 8 inches. We're going to curl those, keep those toes curled under. We're going to press up into downward facing dog. Allowing those heels to draw back towards your mat. You may feel a nice stretch through the hamstrings, through the back of the legs. Try to point that tailbone back and up as we lengthen out through the spine. Ears are between the upper arms. I like to press the weight into my thumb and my first 2 fingers Kind of spreading that weight out so it's not all back at the wrist. Give yourself one more breath. And then step your right foot up between your hands. Could be that it's a little bit more to the right hand. So we have the alignment where our feet are like kind of like on railroad tracks for the right one versus the left. Drawing your back knee down, uncurling the toe. We'll do a gentle twist first, so keeping that left arm connected, just open up with the right arm. Option here to hold here, or you can lift that back leg up as you reach toward the foot. If you're doing this one, you can rotate out on the outside edge of that front leg. Expand through your belly and through your chest, or you can stay in that gentle twist position. Either way is fine. And then if you decided to have hold of that foot behind you, you can release. Let's come back on, bringing that hand down if you're in the gentle twist. And let's shift back into our half monkey or half split. Great way to open up the hamstrings. Shift so that both hips are even. That might mean your right hip needs to come down a little bit. Drawing your belly to your thigh and your nose towards your knee as much as it feels comfortable. You can have blocks on each side underneath your hands, especially if you're tight within your hamstring, which is very common. And then inhale, walk forward, curl that back toe under. Let's step your front foot to meet your back foot into a plank position. Modified plank is always a great option. Belly button in, slight tuck in that tailbone so your bottom's not sticking up. Hollowing out your chest, really strong here. You should feel those muscles working. One more breath. Downward facing dog. Allowing those heels to draw back towards your mat, opening through the back of the legs, tailbone back and up. A little bit more space between the vertebrae. Each one separating, lengthening. This time, left foot steps up. You can step on the inside of that left hand. One giant step, a few small ones. Drawing that knee down. Uncurl the back toe. Right arm stays on the inside. Left arm comes up for that gentle twist. Option to reach back towards that foot, grab hold. That's not going to be accessible for me, but I'll just reach in the general direction where you can roll out onto the outside edge of your foot. If you have a hold of your foot, go ahead and release. Everyone comes up, bring the hand down on each side. Shift your weight back to your half monkey, half split. Try to even out those hips. That might mean your left hip draws down a little bit towards your mat. And draw your belly towards your thigh, and your chest down, and the nose toward the knee. Remember to use your blocks with your hands. Just breathing into this, feeling the release and the opening of the back of the thigh, your hamstring muscles. And then shift your weight back. You're going to curl that back toe under. Back up to that lunge position, step the front foot to meet the back foot. Nice solid plank or modified plank. Let's hold this for a couple breaths, feeling that strength to the abdominals, pulling that belly button in, hollowing out your chest. And then pressing back into downward facing dog. Settle your feet so they're a little bit closer together. So I would say, let's make our big toes touch if we can. I like to settle that foot like that so it's more towards the center, which will help me balance if I'm going to go up to three-legged dog. So if you'd like to try the three-legged dog, we're going to lift up that right leg. Our hips are nice and even to start. Then you can start opening up that hip to the outside and then drawing that heel towards your bottom. A nice opening through that hip, which we spent some time warming up that hip flexor to see if we could get that opening a little bit more accessible. Then inhale, extend that leg up to the ceiling. We're going to draw that leg, that knee. If you're staying in your down dog, you can just take that knee, right knee, up towards the right wrist. Settle it down on your mat towards the right wrist. Doesn't have to touch it, but up in that general direction. And then slide your lower leg over in a diagonal across your mat. We're getting ready for pigeon. Go ahead and slide your leg back as you sit down into pigeon. Now this is my recovering knee, so I won't be able to go all the way down. So you might find your hip up really high here. You can put a block under there or a blanket. And the traditional pigeon, we can expand through our belly and our chest, kind of opening up here first. That back leg is straight back from the hip. And then if you'd like to come on down onto your forearm, you can do that. It's a nice stretch for the glute area. There's a small muscle called the piriformis. That tends to be a tight spot. And then coming up and curling that back toe under, we're going to lift up into a plank with the knee raised up like this. And then go ahead and press into your downward facing dog. Let's walk the dog a little bit. So kind of have that leg a little bent. Might feel good to walk it out a little bit. And then we'll switch sides. So let's reset our feet so our toes are touching. And if you'd like to either stay here, you can, or you can lift that left leg up. Nice strong lift. As soon as you get it to the height that you feel like you can raise it, go ahead and start opening up that hip to the side. Heel comes toward the bottom. Try to distribute your weight evenly between your left and right hand. And then when you're ready, extend that leg up. Everyone's going to draw the left knee toward the left wrist as you settle it down on your mat. And then take that lower leg and you're going to draw it in a diagonal across the mat as you slide back into your pigeon. Now, for me, my heel is sort of close to where my psoas is, so kind of right on the edge there underneath the hip and the belly area. Some people, want to come up a little bit more with their lower leg. That doesn't feel good on my knees, so I don't do that. So it's one of those things where you really want to listen to your body and do what feels nice to you. The purpose of this one is a nice deep glute stretch. So we'll keep that in mind. Go ahead and expand through your belly and your chest, lifting up first into a gentle extension. And then if you want to come down onto your forearm, you can do that.
inhale, bring those hands right below the shoulders, curling your back tail under, nice strong back leg to start, and then lift up into that plank with the leg bent. And then whenever you're ready, you can go to your down dog. Okay, walk your feet towards your hands to your feet. Let's move into Uttanasana, forward fold. Should feel a nice opening through the back of the legs since we've been working those. Inhale, lengthen through your spine when your hands are on your shins. Having an animal party right now. And then inhale, allowing those hips to draw back so you can go into your chair position. I like my hands in prayer position, but if you wanted to extend those arms up from the shoulders, you can. And then sending energy through those heels as you press on up and open. All right, here we are in mountain position now. So bring those palms forward, open up through the collarbone, shoulders, away from the ears. Thinking of that grounding energy. So just now standing up, so you're still connecting through the earth, sending that energy through your feet. Inhale, arms up. You're welcome to clasp your hands above your head. If that doesn't feel good for your shoulders, you can leave them open here. We need a nice side bend to our right. Inhale, back up. And side bend to the left. Inhale up. It's time to open those hands, palms forward. Exhale, we're going to do folded chair. So nice flat neutral spine. Sitting back into your chair with your chest open. You're looking straight down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. All right, left hand's going to come right down in the center. If you need a block to extend your reach, that's a good option here. So trying to keep those hips even and your pelvis even. So the twist is going to happen from the diaphragm up. So I've planted here. I'm going to lift open with my right arm up as I turn to the side, trying to create that opening more through my thoracic spine, or the spine that's more in the chest area in the upper back. So I have even weight on each side of my feet. And we'll bring that hand down, we'll switch. Exhale. And inhale over to the opposite side. And the tendency is to kind of pop into that hip. So we're going to try to keep those hips really even. Your weight's even on each foot. And you're opening through your diaphragm up. Palm is facing the same direction that you're looking. And bringing that hand down. Go ahead and fold into your Uttanasana. Maybe bending the knees slightly so you can get a little bit more opening through the back of your legs and your lower back. Inhale, hands to your thighs, half lift, nice flat neutral spine. Exhale, sitting into chair position, either hands in prayer position or extended. If you have back issues, I actually recommend right here, just that extra weight reaching out can put a little extra pressure on that low back. And then inhale, coming up and open. Okay, let's do standing pigeon or standing one-legged chair. If you have a thick mat, it's harder to balance, so you can step off onto more of a solid flooring. That works for you. Or if you're really good at balancing and you want a little more challenge, then being on a cushy surface actually makes it harder. So I'm actually going to move off my blanket here. And now arms up. Go and extend out that right leg, and then we're going to cross it up above the knee as we exhale and sit down into a one-legged chair. So stay like you're doing a regular chair. Once you're there, try to open up through the chest a little bit more, drawing the shoulders back and down. Now, if you want more challenge here, you can try to extend that standing leg and reach down to your floor with the leg crossed. So you're extending out that bent leg, that standing leg. You don't have to do that. That's sort of more of a challenge if someone's saying, I want a little extra here. All right, when we're ready, we're gonna stand up with this, and that leg that's bent, let's pull up into a nice stork pose. So that heels straight down from the knee, palms are forward here in the cactus arms. Wonderful. Okay. This leg right here is going to slide back into a straight leg position. The arms are going to sweep back with the palms facing back. And then you're in charge of how far you're going to lean forward as that leg comes up, moving to Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3. You don't have to go all the way down. Just keeping that nice straight line with the upper body and that back leg. A little wobbly, that's okay. It's all balance work. And then coming back up when you're ready, let's just shake it out. Taking his hands out, shake your legs out, great job. That was a lot of balance work all together. I know that was challenging. Don't expect perfection. You haven't been putting your body like this before, so it's new for many of us. So let's recenter ourselves, reground ourselves back to mountain. Remember that Pada Bandha, those 3 points on the bottom of our feet are right at the heel, under the little toe, and under the big toe, the ball of the foot. Inhale, arms up. This time, left leg extends out, pulling that heel up above the knee as we sit down into our chair, drawing our hands in, chest is open, shoulders back. Standing pigeon, one-legged chair. If you fall out of it, just have fun with it. This is playful, this is fun. We don't have to be serious. It's just yoga. I mean, really, we're just doing like funny human tricks. Look what we can do. And then when you're ready, if you want to try to do that where you reach toward the floor and extend that leg, you can. If you don't want to do that, just hang out right here. You want to try to reach to the floor, you just lengthen out that standing leg. Oh, I just realized my knee is like telling me no. Saying no, Tara, don't do that. So I'm going to listen to my body. If you want to try it, go for it. And then if you reach toward the floor, go ahead and come back up. And then everyone's gonna move to stork pose. So really send energy to that standing leg as it lengthens out. The other leg lifts up, the thighs parallel with the ground. Hands forward like cactus arms. Excellent. And then we transition to warrior three. If you want to put that leg down to grab your balance before you move to it, that's totally fine. You just kind of tap down there, and then you can extend out that leg. Nice long leg, chest open, engage those abdominals by pulling the belly button in, chest is open. Only go down as far as it feels comfortable to you. Nice straight line with your body. I know this is challenging, we're just trying to find balance here. Make it work for you. Make it light, make it fun. It's a cute human trick here. Once you attain this, nothing happens other than you can do it. And then coming up and let's shake it out. Great. You might have felt some fire building in that standing leg. So not only was that balance work, but you had some strength building up on that standing leg. So let's shake it out a little bit. And let's move to the top of our mat. I like to do one flow sequence, and we'll move back down onto our mat. So coming to the top of our mat, inhale, arms up. Exhale, let's do a folded chair. So sweep those arms back, nice flat back into chair position. Chest is open. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, step your right foot back, and you're going to go into warrior one. So that foot steps into 1 or 2 o'clock position, so it's at a diagonal. Lifting those arms up. Exhale, open to warrior two. If you need to shift your feet, you can. Your gaze is right over those front fingertips. Okay, taking that back arm, you're going to swing it around to the front like you have a bow and arrow. Let's pull back that bow and arrow. And then that front arm's going to lift up as you move into reverse warrior. Lengthen out that front leg. We're going to cartwheel those arms into triangle. Using your block to extend your reach. Nose to knee pyramid, so one hand on each side. I like to step my foot in on this one, a little bit closer stance, and my toes are definitely at 1 o'clock versus 2 o'clock. So I want my hips both facing forward. This is especially going to be important for the revolve triangle. Then my right hand's going to come on the inside, and this is definitely where a block is going to come in handy. We're going to do the revolve triangle as we just open up in the opposite direction. And that same concept applies as thinking about coming from the diaphragm and opening up more through that space versus twisting in your lower back. Revolve triangle. Yes. Excellent. Okay, let's bring that hand down. Get rid of that block if we have it. Step the back foot to meet the front foot. Forward fold Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, chair. Inhale, pressing up and open. Giving that good energy out into the world. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. Inhale, arms up. Palms forward, exhale, sweeping back, nice flat position with that back, open chest, folded chair. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. This time, left foot steps back at an angle because we're preparing for warrior one. Arms come on up when you're ready. Takes that little bit of balance, engagement of those abs. That front kneecap, same direction as your second and third toe. Warrior one. Let's open up to warrior two. Sometimes people like to adjust their feet so they're kind of lined up in front of each other here so those hips can really open. Still keeping that kneecap, same direction as that second and third toe. And when you check in with your body, so instead of leaning forward on this, we're actually straight up from our hips. And then your gaze is straight forward above that that third fingertip. Then take that back arm, reach it around to the front. Grab your bow and arrow. Let's visualize our bullseye. What do we want to hit? What's our goal? And then release. Reverse warrior. Expanding through that rib cage. Lengthening energy to those fingertips. Lengthen out that front leg. Let's cartwheel all the way down to triangle. Need to shorten your stance, great. If you want to block. Neutral position with your neck. I find a lot of people could have their neck either up too high or down low, so nice neutral position. You also could look up towards your fingertips. I tend to like to keep more of a neutral spine. And then the hand comes down, nose to knee pyramid. This is definitely where a little step in will feel nice. That back toe comes more to 11 o'clock position. Allow the nose to draw to the knee. Use your blocks on each side if you want to expand your reach, especially if your hamstrings are tight. You can kind of play around with shifting your weight forward and back. Then the left hand's going to plant on the inside, preparing for your revolved triangle. When you're ready, opening up to the opposite side. This is my wobbly side. Just let the wobble happen, it's okay. Remember that opening from the diaphragm up, that shoulder's open. The hand is facing the same direction that you're looking. So sometimes I'll catch a little rotation there. So try to open up that shoulder, that'll help that expansion. Let's bring our hand down, back to nose to knee. Step the back foot to meet the front foot, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Nice flat neutral spine, chest open. Exhale, sitting back into chair. And take all the good energy and kindness. And we're going to inhale up and sending it out to the universe. Okay, so let's open up to more of a goddess position. So our toes are going to be pointed to the corner. I'm going to do something a little bit different though. Draw those knees down. Here, so you have a pretty wide stance. Toes are to the corner, kneecaps in direction of the knees. Sit down nice and low, and my heel of my hand's going to kind of push a little bit open on the inner portion of my thigh. So it should feel comfortable. It definitely should not feel painful. See if you can draw those hips down a little bit lower. You can kind of rock just a teeny bit side to side. Now draw that left shoulder down as you look back over your shoulder. And switch to the opposite side. And back to the center. And then we're going to extend up. Go ahead and reach down. Tuck those, so draw those toes forward just slightly in. If I look, my outside edge of my foot would be parallel with my mat. If I had it on that side, here we go. And then just a smidge wider. I want you to kind of walk those hands, placing that right hand. So I take that back. My right leg is bent and my left hand is down. And again, you can use your block. Extend your reach. I'm going to open up here. This is more inner thigh work.
So this leg is bent, this leg is straight. I know it's kind of hard to see with my
Black leggings. And then let's switch. So we'll walk over on the opposite side.
Now your left knee is bent, the right leg is straight. Plant that hand and turn towards the bent leg.
A nice opening in the inner thigh, hopefully.
And let your body talk to you, not yell at you, finding that sweet spot.
And then walking those hands. So you might need to scoot your legs in a little bit. We're gonna do wide leg forward fold. Once you're here, a couple options. You can walk your hands through your legs as your fingertips point in the opposite direction. You could wrap your hands around your calves, or you could grab hold of your elbows and hang. So just kind of play around with that. See which one feels best for you. If you have a tendency to hyperextend your knees or lock out your knees, you might try a soft bend in those legs and try to bring your weight forward onto the ball of your foot versus having it all back on the heel. And then let's heel toe in, still wider than shoulder width apart. We're drawing down into our Malasana or garland pose. Again, your bottom could probably come all the way down towards the ground. I'm just limited in my range of motion with my knee still. So I'm more like going to the bathroom in the forest pose. Open up through your chest. And then when you're ready, one hand comes forward, one hand goes back. And we'll move on down to a seated position. Inhale, bringing that left arm up, reach up nice and high and over to the side. And then that left arm comes up. Go ahead and place it behind you as the right arm wraps to the outside of the opposite knee. Look back. It's a gentle twist. And then coming back to a center position, right arm lifts up. Side bend. And up we go. Gentle twist. So the left arm goes on the outside of that thigh. Right hand plants just straight below the shoulder as you look back. And then coming back to center, hands on your knees. Let's go ahead and round out chin to your chest. Inhale, extend. Exhale, rounding out. Inhale, extend. Then go ahead and set those feet up. We're going to go back to our back. So if you need to rotate around, go for it. One vertebra at a time. Kind of scooping that tailbone under. And at this time, if there's any poses or positions or stretches you feel like your body needs before we move into our Shavasana, please do that.
So any position you want to do, I'm going to do like happy baby. Sometimes people will do a shoulder stand. Hamstring stretch. And whenever you're ready, and you might already be ready, just move to your comfortable Shavasana position. This one, I like to use visualization. So I know everyone has a different meditation that they prefer, so if you'd like to try something else, like a concentration one, you're welcome to. But if you want to try out a visualization, I'd like you to just visualize, like we had that bow and arrow with our bullseye, is to use your imagination, use your visualization to imagine a positive outcome and possibly a scenario that's maybe troublesome for you. You're a problem you're trying to solve, or a worry that you have, or a dream that you want to pursue, or a goal that you want to achieve. And just take this moment to have some fun with it and imagine yourself with that outcome. If you see or feel any worry thoughts come in, we're just going to replace those. Let's hit the delete key and replace that with a visualization of the outcome that you do want. Just like when we were kids and we use our imagination. Alrighty, start to bring your awareness back into the room. Maybe some big deep breaths or some stretches. And roll to your side or make your way up to a seated position so we can close our practice out. And closing up those ideas and the thoughts and the visualization of the things that you want to achieve or want to create. Everything starts with an idea and a thought and moves into our words and then our actions. So our seed is in our mind. It's very powerful. So bringing those hands to your heart center and to the forehead. Namaste.